beer and wine at a family picnic at Collins Park on August 3rd, 2019 from 11. I'm not sure what the time is up to. It says 1 p.m. I'll check that.
1 to 7?
Yeah, 1 to 7 p.m. It says 11. It's probably 1, but I'll check that. A resolution authorizing Tim Ward and Big D to serve alcoholic beverages at a fundraising event to be held at Veterans Memorial Park on August 31st, 2019. Whereas Tim Ward and Big D Inc. are hosting a fundraising softball tournament on August 31st, 2019 from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And whereas Tim Ward has requested permission to serve alcohol in the form of beer and wine at the event, now therefore be resolved that Tim Ward and Big D Inc. are hereby authorized to serve beer and wine at a fundraising softball tournament at Veterans Memorial Park on August 31st, 2019 from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. A resolution hiring new camp counselors and alternates for the 2019 full day and half-day summer day camp program. Whereas the town board wishes to rehire additional staff for the town of Clifton Park summer day camp program within the Office of Parks, Recreation, and Community Affairs. And whereas Myla Kramer, Director of Parks, Recreation, and Community Affairs, has recommended that the individuals listed in the attached Schedule A be hired. Now therefore be resolved that the individuals listed in the attached Schedule A be hired as additional staff for the town's 2019 day camp program effective May 7th, 2019 through August 23rd, 2019. Will be further resolved that the camp counselors and alternates be paid as indicated on Schedule A.
Very good. Any questions on the resolutions? Okay. Pat, if you read the headings, and we'll consider each one individually.
Resolution number 120 of 2019, a resolution scheduling a public hearing on a proposal to add a non-resident rate to the transfer station East Edmond. So moved. Second.
Moved by Mrs. Standart, second by Ms. Wallowit. We've experienced a decline overall in the number of permits being purchased the last few years at the transfer station. I think there's a couple of reasons for that. One, there's been increased competition in the garbage hauling business, which has led to a lot of promotional rates and people able to get that service at a reduced price. I think that might have something to do with it. I think the other part of it is a lot of people just don't want to put a garbage can in their trunk of their car and bring it to the transfer station. If you've got a pickup or some kind of a truck, it's a little easier to do that. But so I think that there's a couple of different reasons for this decline. This would be an out-of-town permit for the first time. We've always limited the permits to Clifton Park residents only. In this case, the fee would be a flat $150 per year. Currently, the in-town rates are $90 for a standard permit, $45 for a senior permit. So the price goes down substantially once you get to a certain age. We have a fair amount of those every year. So overall, a declining number of permits and more people aging into the senior category where they're paying half of what they paid last year. So you can see how this is not a very good business model as we go forward. So when you're having struggles with your business model, you make changes and create new opportunities for revenue, and that's what we're doing here. So we have really no idea what the response will be. I wouldn't be surprised if we had 5 people. I wouldn't be surprised if we had 100. I have no idea how many. We are going to limit it to 100 initially, and then in case we do receive a lot of interest, we're going to limit it at 100 and see how it goes from there. But we do need to have a public hearing to consider instituting this new permit structure, and that's what we're doing with this resolution, is setting that public hearing. Okay. Any questions? Comments here? Okay. Very good. Pat?
Councilman Standard. Yes. Councilman Romano.
Yes.
Councilman Wallowit. Yes. Vice Mayor.
Yes.
Resolution number 121 of 2019, A resolution declaring a public emergency pursuant to General Municipal Law, Section 1034, for repair to a culvert within the Mill Creek subdivision.
Moved by Mr. Romano, second by Ms. Wallowit, and the Highway Department identified a structural issue and responded accordingly. Anything you'd like to add here, Mr. Bull?
Nothing too fancy. We just had a creek that ran through a culvert under Orchard Park Drive. That 30-year-old pipe fell apart, and we had to replace it as soon as we possibly could. It's one of the major entrances to Clifton Knolls and Mill Creek, obviously. So we don't like emergencies, but when they happen, we have to deal with them.
Well, when you see them, they need to be dealt with. So good job. That was quickly planned and executed, so well done. Okay, Beth.
Councilman Standard.
Yes.
Councilman Romano.
Yes.
Councilman Wallowit. Mayor Bear.
Yes.
Resolution number 122 of 2019, a resolution approving an agreement with Miss Jen Softball for sponsorship of grant funding for the construction of a 3-season batting cage facility on the Clifton Common in honor of Deanna Rivers.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Ms. Wallowit, and I'm not going to say too much about this project right now because we're going to have some more to say about it in the near future, working with the family, the Rivers family, Senator Tedisco, who has secured a grant for this project, and we want to thank Senator Tedisco for his hard work in that regard. It's going to be a batting cage and training facility in honor of Deanna Rivers. When you go to the softball field, you see a big number 19. That's in memory of Deanna. And there's also a wonderful softball tournament that's held each summer, and has been for the last several years. And it's all to benefit the Deanna Rivers Foundation. Every player playing, and there's multiple teams, but every player wears number 19 that day. And it's a really nice event if you can get down there this summer. So we'll have more to say, but it's the grant process that we are working through takes some time. Takes a little bit of paperwork, and but we're getting through it as quickly as we possibly can, or as quickly as the state will let us. And we hope to have the training facility constructed sooner than later, but right now we just don't have a time that we can target as a completion date, but we hope to in the near future. So, but we'll continue to work on this, and we'll have some more information for everyone publicly, working with the Rivers family and Senator Tedisco. Okay. Pat?
Councilman Standard.
Yes.
Councilman Romano.
Yes.
Councilman Wallowit. Mayor Bear.
Yes.
Resolution number 123 of 2019, a resolution authorizing the receiver of taxes and assessments to attend the New York State Association of Tax Receivers and Collectors Seminar.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Mr. Romano. Discussion.
Councilman Standard. Yes. Councilman Romano.
Yes.
Councilman Wallowit. Mayor Bear.
Yes.
Resolution number 124 of 2019, a resolution authorizing the hiring of a part-time guard for the Safety and Security Department.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Ms. Wallowit. Lou?
Yes, we've got Paul Van Einstein right here. He's got roughly 38 years in law enforcement, retired out of Colony PD. Looking for some part-time work. Applied here for security, and I think it'd be a well fit for our security department. If you have any questions, Paul's right here.
Yeah, so Lou and I interviewed Paul recently. Paul, you can wait. He applied, and we're glad he did. We're very fortunate to be able to employ folks in our security team and also our armed guards at the courts that have a very lengthy career in law enforcement. And that having that experience as part of our team is invaluable, and Paul, you're certainly an example of that. So we welcome you and look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Pat?
Councilman Standard? Yes. Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Ballmer?
Yes, Vice Mayor.
Yes, and Mr. Van Alstyne is a Clifton Park resident. Did want to mention that too.
Resolution number 125 of 2019, a resolution hiring WSI and YSI instructors for individual swim lessons at town pools for 2019 pool season.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Romano, second by Ms. Wallowit. Well, this is the first day it actually felt like a nice spring day, right, here on May 6th. But we've been working hard getting the pools ready, getting them clean, getting them filled. And that process has been underway for a while. It does take some time to get them cleaned and prepared and filled. But we will be ready for Memorial Day weekend when they open. And they'll be open right through Labor Day. We will have an individual swim lesson program again this year. So if you have children that would like to learn to swim and have individual one-on-one attention with qualified instructors, you can contact Town Hall. The information is also on our Parks and Recreation registration page.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Ballmer?
Yes, Vice Mayor.
Yes.
Resolution number 126, 2019, resolution hiring water safety instructors for the Clifton Park Learn to Swim program.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Ms. Wallowit. Here's some of our water safety instructors that we're hiring this year. It's an additional level of certification, and they get paid more. So we're glad to welcome back a very experienced team. Pat?
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Ballmer? Yes, Vice Mayor.
Yes.
Resolution number 127 of 2019, a resolution authorizing the supervisor to accept a proposal for professional engineering services for public parking improvements at the Rossville Nature Preserve and drainage and surface improvement to the Long Hill Trail.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Romano, second by Mrs. Standard. Just a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago now, we had a presentation from our Open Space, Trails, and Riverfront Committee, and it involved some improvements to the entrance and parking area of the Dwaskill Nature Preserve, which is right off Pierce Road. If you go down Pierce Road, you'll see signage there, and there's a dirt area where you can turn off and park, but we want to make some improvements there. We purchased that 250 acres some time ago now, but probably going on 12 years now. But beautiful piece of property right in the heart of Clifton Park, preserved for forever as part of our Parks and Recreational Trail Network. So this engineering agreement will lead towards some planning that is necessary to execute the improvements. Okay? Any discussion, comments? Okay. And I want to thank the Open Space Trails Committee for working hard on this item. Okay, Pat?
Councilman Standard? Yes. Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Ballmer? Yes, Vice Mayor.
Yes.
Resolution number 128, 2019. Resolution appointing Mark Hesmerick as a part-time assistant building inspector in the Building and Development Department.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Ms. Wallowit, second by Mrs. Standard. And Steve, you back there?
Yep.
So, Mark is well known to the department, right?
Yeah, bring them back to try and pick up, as we get busier and busier with the summer coming, pick up some of the workload so we can keep getting it all done.
Yeah, Mark's been a member of the department for some time now as a full-time employee, and now as part-time for a few years, and he's able to come in and help with that workload that Steve's talking about this time of year. People want quick inspections as quickly as possible when they're building a deck or putting an addition on their house, new water heater, whatever the case